Okay. No. Well, yeah, it is on. Yes. So today is solving inequalities with fractions. And as we just had a little powwow, fractions are not your strong suit. Okay. Fractions are not your strong suit, but it should be because we've had it. This is the 4th time in 7th grade, and you also had it last year in 6th grade. This page here is the stuff that you should memorize. The reason that it's not guided is because you've had this so many times, and it's almost, I hope it's starting to get annoying for some of you how many times you've learned this. But I hope it's annoying because you know it and not annoying because you can't figure it out. So it says here, addition, when you're dealing with fractions, addition. First, you check to see if the fractions have common denominators. Common denominators is only necessary when you add or subtract fractions. All right? When you multiply or divide, you don't need common denominators. A lot of you are doing that on the quiz. Make sure if they don't, you are going to find a common denominators before moving on. You're going to add whole numbers together. So you're going to pull out those whole numbers. I've actually had you guys do improper fractions because I don't want you to forget when to do that, but I'm cool with it if you wanted to. I'll do examples of both today. Add fractions together, denominator stays the same. If the fraction in your answer is improper, simplify it by changing it to a mixed number. Always, always simplify. I took off points if you didn't simplify on the quiz and on the test because I've emphasized it so much. Things to remember for subtraction. Check to see if the fractions have common denominators. If they don't, make sure you find common denominators before moving on. You must have common denominators. Okay? Addition, subtraction, common denominators. Check to see if you can subtract the bottom number from the top fraction. Subtraction, if you can't, you must borrow from the whole number. Subtract whole numbers, add the fractions. Multiplication. This is the one where you just go across. Okay? You have a fraction, multiply numerator, multiply denominator, and then simplify. Because it's multiplication, you can also do the cross simplification. Cross simplification, so if I have 3/18, that's a bad example. If I have 3/25 multiplied by 50/90, what I can do is I can take a 3 out of these two, and I can take a 25 out of those two. So it would just be 1/1 times 2/30. So then I would just have to, would be what? 115? Oh, one. No, it wouldn't be 1 and 1/15. It would just be 1/15. Yeah, okay. That's why I was so confused. Like, no. Yes, that means that I could have gone even higher with that. So, good. But that's cross simplification. That only works with multiplication. Next one we have cancel possible, blah, blah, blah. We said that. Division. Keep, change, flip. There were people that were doing flip, keep, or something. I don't know. Okay? Keep, change, flip. That means that we don't really divide fractions. What we do is we keep the first fraction the way it is. We flip the sign from division to multiplication. And we flip the numerator and denominator. So, for example, if we had 2/3 divided by 5/6, I would keep 2/3 the way it is. I would change the sign, and I would flip the numerator and denominator, and then just multiply like normal. Okay? Keep, change, flip. It still should be linked on my website. Well, yeah, I'm showing you what keep, change, flip is because people were doing flip, change, keep, or keep, change, keep. Like all of a sudden, just magically, poof, the division became multiplication. Now, yes, sir. Oh, you're thinking of adding integers. You're thinking of subtracting integers, 2 minus 3. That's keep, change, if you will. Or no, keep, change, 2, keep, change. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of, integers. Yep, thank you. Good memory. That is a wonderful question. That's the best question I've heard all day. All right, let's do some exemplos. Okay, examples. Here we have solving equations like we've been doing, but this is inequalities like we did for the last week. Today is fractions. Tomorrow we're doing word problems, and then we have a quiz on Wednesday. So I have addition here, so I have to do the inverse of addition. So I'm going to do subtract 1 1/3. Subtract 1 1/3. So we should be writing this. We're on the back side. So that leaves me with k is greater than 4 1/6 minus 1 1/3. Four 1/6 minus 1 1/3. Since it's subtraction, I can do this two ways, and I want you to make it into an improper fraction first. Okay, I want you to make an improper fraction. Addition, we can take out the whole numbers, but I want you to do it as an improper fraction with subtraction. So 4 times 6 is going to be 24 plus 1 is 25. Minus 4/3. I'm going to rewrite this up here. I have a common denominator. I want to find the least common denominator. And luckily this one is nice and pretty. It has both just a 6 there. So I can multiply 3 by 3, 4 by 3, so I can get minus 12/6. 2? 2, you're right. Yes. Thank you. Yep, brain fart. Salud. So now I have 25/6 minus 8/6. So I can rewrite that. I'm going to just do a dotted line here so we don't get confused. K is greater than 25 minus 8 is going to be 17/6, which equals K is greater than 2 5/6. Circle that. It's going to be an open circle. It's going to be an open circle because it's greater than, not greater than or equal to, and it's going to go toward that 3. I chose to just do 3 and 2 4/6. I don't care what number you use, just as long as you remember that to the left is smaller, to the right is bigger, and try to keep it to scale as well, because I have it that this distance here is 1/6. Let's try that again. There we go. And this distance right here is 1/6 as well. You can have different numbers. You could have, if you wanted to, I could have, I don't know, 5 right here, which would make this one that much less over here. I just want it to be a scale. So I like seeing a couple of you get really excited about figuring some things out. Person who's been absent is getting all of it, which is great, which says something about those of you who've been here. Let's get it. And by get it, I mean the phone. Thank you for calling Scott Smith. Scott Smith, thank you for helping you. Wonderful, thank you very much. Bye. Yes.
I am?
No. Are you anticipating me in that? Megan, you are. Bye-bye. There's your homework. Now we have number 2. I want to get through these, folks. I told the other classes that we would get through these because they didn't get to graph them. A minus 10 3/5. I'm going to be doing the inverse of negative, which is positive. I'm going to add, quiet. Have a good night. Ooh. Actually, yeah. Megan, here's the solutions to all the examples. They're not graphed, but that's what we did in the other classes, so you're not expected to go on the internet. You're welcome. Now with this one here, since we're adding, stop talking, stop making noise. Since we're adding, I'm going to pull that 10 out. So that's 5/6 plus 3/5. Since we're adding, I know that it's going to be easier. Adding is easier than subtracting. That's why you learn it before the other. So with that, I'm going to pull that 10 out so I don't have to make a ridiculously huge improper fraction. So I have to find the LCD of 6 and 5. And sadly, the lowest least common denominator is going to be 30. Yeah, I don't like it whenever there's you have to multiply the numbers together to get it, you know? So, but we'll work with it. So we have A is less than or equal to, I have to multiply times 5 times 5 times 6 times 6. I have to do that to all of them because I need to keep it true. So we have 10 plus 25/30ths, 18/30ths. There's way too much noise going on and way too much looking out the window. I'm going to continue this over here. A is less than or equal to 10 plus 35 plus 8 is 43. Can you stop tapping your binder, please? Thank you. It's distracting me. 35, 43. Hey, I blow my nose like that as well, but can you step outside next time you have a big one like that? So I have A is 11 and 13/30ths. 11 and 13/30ths. Good. Ooh. That sounds like you might have got lucky. Let's see. Show me. Where's your variable? There it is. That's at the end. Okay, people, here's another reason why a lot of you got marked off on your quizzes, and I know it's going to be like this for your test. See how I'm doing every single step? Because I'm teaching this to you and reminding you how to do it, I'm doing it in different colors when there's something different that happens. But you need to have, I need to see this step, 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 and then finally that step. If you're just writing whatever, no. Because if you don't have the right answer at the end, I don't know what you're doing, so it's wrong. Remember what I said about if you can go a different way and find the correct answer, I'm okay with that. But if you go a different way and you get the wrong answer, I don't know if I can give you any earned points because I don't know where your head was at when you're doing it. Yeah?
I'm still kind of confused on what one of these here.
Why are they there?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't graph number 1, that's why. We're going to graph number 2 right now, and that'll help you. Sorry. Oops, sorry. Is that your head or your shoulder? Okay, good. Sorry. We have A is less than or equal to 11 and 13/30ths. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do 11 and a half right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. God, I did do the half. Here's 12. And this one will be 11. I'm putting my answer in the middle. Now, 11 and 13/30ths is just shy of 11 and a half, isn't it? Because 11 and 15/30ths would be there. So I'm going to put my circle just shy of a half. I'm going to redo that. Now, is it an open circle or a closed circle? Closed. It is closed because of this little line right here, which means that it is less than or equal to. And when I have it covered or colored in, that means that that point is also included. Yeah, Ms. Lynette?
Will we have to do like the 11 and a half and then like the side?
No, I'm just showing you multiple ways of doing this. Multiple ways of doing this. Like this one, I'm going to do not having the right one in there, the exact one in there. The next one I'm going to show you being right on. The one before we did the right on. Yeah. All right, number 3. Number 3, we have a negative 7.5. This negative right here, if that were your child, you would have neglected it so often on the assessments.
Never.
Okay? What's been happening is you're doing this part kind of correct. I don't want you to write this, but here's what's happening. You're doing a minus negative 7.5, which is true. That's what you need to do. Minus negative 7.5. But then when you get down to the next step, you don't do where it does negative equals positive. Can you put your knees on your desk? Okay? You're not doing a double negative makes a positive. No, like after the steps, you're just making it disappear. And some of it's because you guys are handwriting is rough. So you need to you need to be able to tell what you're trying to do. I honestly want to give like I couldn't find this. But I want to give like something that's not childish for helping with handwriting. I don't want you to feel childish if you have poor handwriting, okay? That's a part, especially boys in middle school. You're figuring out how to do dexterous stuff, okay? I understand. But I don't want you to be having really rough handwriting and not being able to tell what your own thing is writing. So I have negative 7.5. The opposite of negative 7.5 is a positive 7.5. So I have to add 7.5. Dexterity is your ability to move. I believe, I don't know if it's all limbs, but it's pennies. Yeah, that's. So now I have 7.5 plus 5 1/4. I'm going to take out the whole numbers because I can, because it's addition. 1/4 plus 1/2. That one's pretty simple to do because it has a very low common denominator. That's not what I meant to do. Times 2 times 2. So now I have x is less than 12 plus 1/4 plus 2/4. I'm going to rewrite it over here. X is less than 12 3/4. 12 3/4. Get out of there. Because you can have rough handwriting, but you need to make sure that you're writing down what you mean to write down. Nope, stays the same. Stays the same. Ugh. All right, this one here, I'm going to have this be 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 1/4. One, 2, 3, 4. 12 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 12, 13. So this one here, I have an open circle because it is not including that number. And it goes that direction. And remember, you can check to see if you're correct by picking a number on that number line, inserting it in as the variable of your equality. If it doesn't work, then you did something wrong. If it does work, you are correct. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my goodness, we're not going to get there. All right, I'm going to have to switch it up again the same way that I did with my other class. We're just going to be solving here. We're just going to be solving. I'll put the solutions for the graphing online. Guys, stop. Here's my double negative again. So I'm going to rewrite this as being what it's actually saying, those tricky math teachers. Because the minus a negative is the same as addition. Minus a negative is the same as addition. So I'm going to subtract 1/8 from this side, subtract 1/8 from this side. So now I'm rewriting it. 8 is greater than or equal to 1/4 minus 1/8, not the other way around. I need to multiply this by 2, so I have common denominators. R is greater than or equal to 2/4. No, 2/8. Minus 1/8. Inverse operations. Yes, sir?
I'm so confused about like what number you find to subtract. Like how do you
What?
know which number it is?
How do you know which number to subtract? You're talking about right here? Whatever is happening to the variable. Is 1/4 doing anything to the variable there on the top? No. How about 1/8? Yes, because it's on the same side as the inequality, so that means it's messing, and the variable's like, no, back off, bro. Okay? For this one here, we have 1 1/3 that's stuck onto y. And y's like, get away from me. So I have an inverse. First I have to do is I have to make this an improper fraction. Less than or equal to. I'm going to make this also an improper fraction. 3 times 18 is going to be 30 plus 24, which is 54, plus 1 is 55. Now, I can't divide fractions. It won't come out right if you just divide them. Instead, what we have to do is we have to multiply by the reciprocal. Yes, the inverse. The inverse is dividing. The reciprocal is flip the numerator and denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 3/4. I'm going to multiply this by 3/4. Now, I can do some simplification here. Y is less than or equal to 55 over 18 multiplied by 3/4. I can do some cross simplification here. I can do, I'll do red. No, it's green. You guys will. I can do this divided by 3. I can do this divided by 3, and 55 and 4 don't share. Okay, 55 and 4 don't share anything. So now I can rewrite this. I'm going to go, I'll go here. 55 over 6 multiplied by 1/4. My sign stays the same because I'm not multiplying or dividing by a negative. My sign stays the same. Y, I'm going to do lines here so you guys can tell where I'm tracking. Y is less than or equal to 55 over 24. Need to make that a proper fraction, so I'm going to get 2 and 7/24. And I'm zipping through this pretty quick, but the bottom line is the only thing that's different about what we did for a week, 2 weeks ago, and what we're doing now is there's an inequality rather than an equality. And once again, I'll graph those once the kids leave. But I will capture it, though. Yeah, I will capture it. Am I capturing, by the way? Yes, okay. Next one. This one here really confuses a lot of people. Please don't write what I'm about to write, but I need you to remember that x over 5 is the same thing as 1/5 x. Okay? X over 5 is the same as 1/5 x because 1/5 x is the same as 1/5 times x over 1. But we don't know that. Well, yeah, it could be 0. It's not in the denominator. Why is it 1/5? How many x's are there? 1. The same way that whenever we say 354, do we say 1 354? No, it's the same situation that whenever we have a number x, we realize that there's one of them. How many Jameses are there in this class? 1. Do we say that 1 James? No. Or if you have friends with same names, like Jack, for whenever we're talking about you guys, we would say your last initial, right? If we were talking about you in this class, because you have to differentiate which person we're talking about. But there's only an X there. All right. So with that said, what is happening to X? Divided by 5. So we're going to have to do the inverse of dividing by 5 and multiply by 5. So we just have x over here is less than or equal to. I'm going to make that an improper fraction before I get crazy with that. So 70 plus 14 is 84. 84 plus 7 is 91. I multiply straight across. Less than or equal to. 91 times 5 is going to be 450 plus 5. If you're wondering how I'm doing that multiplication so fast in my head, I'm doing this.
9 times 5 is 45, 17.
That's how I'm doing it. Oh, okay. 450 divided by 12. 455 divided by 12. So what I would do then is I would go ahead and go on my scratch piece of paper because I won't need to know how to do this because I know y'all know how to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and divide 455 by 12. Darling, I'm going to have 3. 3 times 12 is going to be 36. 36, that's going to be 11. Okay, no, it's not going to be number 11. It's going to be 9. 9. Then we have 12 times, go ahead here, 5 would be 60. No, that's too low. 12 times 7 would be 70, 84. Ooh, that's getting close. 12 times 8 is going to be 80, 96. Ooh, that is so close, but it's too high.
You should like drink water.
70, 84. 7 times 12, 84. And I have 11 30 12s. Sorry, 11 12s. So since that's on a separate sheet of paper, because I expect you guys to know how to divide that simple number that 4th graders can do, you don't need to have that on a page. So I'm going to have x is less than or equal to 37 and 11 twelfths. 37 and 11 twelfths. Now we have another situation where we have to multiply by the reciprocal. Don't get squirmy. We still got 6 minutes left. Don't get squirmy. That clock is not at the same time as the school. 7/9 times x. I can't divide by 7/9. So what do I have to do, Miss Middleton? What do I have to do? Starts with an R. Reciprocal. Multiply by the reciprocal. I had 7/9, which means I have to multiply it by 9/7. Same situation over here. 9/7. So now I have h is less than 1 over 6 multiplied by 9 over 7. Now 9 and 7 with multiplying by 1 and 6, we can reduce. With 3, yes, Abby, correct. We divide by 3 to reduce. So I divide this by 3, I divide this by 3. Now I have h is less than 1 over 2 multiplied by 3 over 7. Now I just go get on the train to do multiplying 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 7 is 14, and I can't reduce that. That means I did it right. H is less than 3/14. 3/14. You know what? Rather than recording my graphing, I'm just going to put the answers to the graphing on my website, okay? Rather than having to hear my nasally voice. All right. Next we have negative 5a is greater than or equal to 4.5 that is negative. Now look at this. We have a negative number that's messing with our a, and we have to divide or multiply. So what does that mean about this thing? Flip it. Flip it real good. So I'm going to put an X right here, or a star right here, so I know that I need to have that flipped. So I'm going to divide by 0.5, divide by 0.5. Uh-oh. A is less than or equal to, or sorry, greater than or equal to, so I have to flip it to less than or equal to now. Negative 4/12 divided by negative 5. Now, I can't divide a fraction, can I? No, I cannot. Oh, well, I wrote it right. Misspoke. I have to do the reciprocal. Remember, this is actually negative 5 over 1, isn't it? And this negative 4.5 is actually negative 9.5. 9 halves. Sorry, 9 halves. Negative 9 halves. So I need to keep, which is negative 9 halves, change the multiplication into multiplication, and flip. Positive 9 over 10. So my final answer is A is less than or equal to 9/10. Oh my gosh, we are going to get done with them. Yes. Now we have negative 1/8 r being multiplied by, or sorry, negative 1/8 being multiplied by our variable. Greater than or equal to. It is being multiplied by our variable, and it's negative, so that means that it's going to be changing. So I need to put a star there, so I remember that it should have changed. To do the reciprocal of, or to get that to go away, I cannot divide by 1/8. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by negative 8 over 1. Bye, guys. Have a great eat dry evening. Oh, yes, your homework. No, you know what? This guy kept you from all having late homework, right? He just saved you. He just saved you. No, I would have told you that you got it. I would have posted online, and you'd been like, "Oh, my printer wasn't working." Here, go back to where I give it. Don't go away from your desk until I give you your homework, because I know that 2 of you are going to leave it behind anyway. Here you go. Here you go. I'm going to go that way. That one there.
Get hyper beam.
Get out of here, boy. Get out of here.
I already
What's that? Well, I'm not talking like a Texan. I'm talking like a bad accent that Mr. Smith did. I wasn't trying to imitate any person necessarily. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That means that probably someone didn't get theirs. Bye. Hi. Let me just get this last one here, then I can, where am I? -2. Good. And goodbye.